friends, my name is Amit, and today we are going to see another interesting example of custom workforce planning. In today's calculation, I am going to show you how to calculate regular and departed headcount. So in my application, there is an hierarchy called regular headcount, where there are different types of headcounts: regular, departed, LOA, maternity, sabbatical, and so on. Similarly, we have a driver here: attrition rate, headcount driver rate, and so on. So here is my requirement. I need to calculate two measures: regular headcount and departed headcount. So the formula of the regular headcount is regular headcount equals to headcount driver rate, uh, headcount driver rate multiplied by headcount driver. So it means in this example, my headcount driver rate is 25% and the headcount driver is 80. So it's going to be regular headcount is 20. Similarly, I need to calculate departed headcount. Departed headcount is equals to regular headcount multiplied by attrition rate. So regular headcount is 20 multiplied by attrition rate is 25. The output is 5. This is what I'm supposed to calculate. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to create new rule. I call this rule regular and departed headcount. Right click, create new rule, regular and departed headcount. The rule is going to be very simple. So I'm going to write this rule in an editor. You can use a constant or variable. Well, I would start with aggregate missing on because I do not want the value to be roll up. So I set aggregate missing on, and then I apply condition. Now look at the condition here. I want to apply fixed expression for this intersection. Okay, so apply fixed expression with the intersection of scenario, which is strategic planning, intersection with the scenario could be working version, which is working, job. Well, I'm going to calculate this for all type of job, so we do not apply any limitation on a job. I'm going to use it for USD, no employees. You see, this is for not for a specific employee, no employee, no property. This basically assumption is a property. When I put property and refresh, it becomes assumption. This I remove it. So this is assumption. Or you can write no property. In the same fashion, we continue to apply all filter expression. I'm going to apply for all year. I use relative all years. And this is going to be calculated not for a specific but period, rather for a beginning balance. So this is essentially for beginning balance. The whole calculations for beginning balance. Now I write and fix, and I'm going to apply this calculation only for all jobs. So I apply fixed expression, I descended for all jobs. So for all jobs, You can write for a specific job or all job. So there's a member for all job. And the job pro dimension, look at OEP all jobs, right? OEP total jobs, OWP total jobs. So I apply expression on OWP total jobs and fix. Now let's write the expression calculation over here. So my expression is simple. I'm going to calculate regular head count. Regular head count. You write a member regular head count equals to head count driver rate and head count driver. Now head count driver is essentially with the intersection of no job. So I use, this is not specific for job. So I use an intersection operator job, right? This is no job rather, space no space job. With this intersection, the calculation will take place. Then I'm going to calculate departed head count. Departed head count equals to regular head count multiplied by attrition rate. Sorry, attrition rate. I can use an alias name, attrition rate, or you can use an actual name. Doesn't matter. So you can use attrition name. I am going to replace this actual name with alias name. Now add a. Now let's test it and run it. So I save and scan it. Here a tiny thing I change, rather than using constant I use a scenario as a variable. You can use a constant, I use a variable here. So in case you like to use variable, what you can do it, create a variable. I use scenario variable here. You could create the variable under new, and let me save it first. Object type as a variable. Let me go to system view and create variable. Go to system view, action variable designer. And this variable is going to be global. To select global, type of variable is a member type, new member type variable, and name of the variable is scenario, which is already exists, so I don't need to create it. That's how you can create, and you can give a default value. This is scenario type, some default value. Let me give a default value as strategic planning scenario. You can give a rich text format, runtime prompt. Please enter scenario optionally, right? Because this is already exists, I'm going to use scenario version 1. The same I will be using in my program. So you can use variable here. Let's save, deploy, and this is to be run for strategic planning. Validate and deploy and test it. Achha, we have to put it in a double quotes. So I put this in a double quotes. Deploy, validate and deploy. And test the code. Right? So I'm going to put different numbers over here, and we see 20% of 100 is 25, and then enter and take 20% out of it. So let's run this and test the output. Strategic planning. The rule ran successfully. Let's check the output. Right. So we manually calculate 20% driver rate multiplied by head count. So regular head count is 25, 25, 25, 25%. 6.25. You apply round function. Therefore, it is rounding off 6.25 to 6%. All right. So that's it for today. In my subsequent example, I'm going to talk about advanced workforce planning examples.